folks, welcome back into Annuity Avenue. Coach Pete here. We've got a very exciting segment here about how to get income from money you already have put aside. Many people don't realize that the money in your 401k could be turned in to a lifetime income stream you can never outlive. And Marty and I talk about this on our radio show almost every week. And here's what we do. By the way, Marty Hensley right over there. You probably see him maybe with his cameras all over the place. I don't know which camera's looking at you, Marty. People see if they want to see you. They won't if they don't.
Yep.
So what we do on the show, and we did it here too, we have two different buckets or hats, Uncle Sam hats, and we have ages in there. We reach in and we draw one age. On this example, we're going to assume that the spouses are the same age, right? Mm-hmm. And then we reach into the other hat and we have different levels of money. Mm-hmm. And so you reach in there and you pull out a number. And so what did you reach in and pull out age-wise this week?
Yeah, so this week we came up with a 62, which is kind of, we see a lot of folks in their 60s here at Capital Financial.
It's a financial red zone right there, Marty.
Financial red zone, 10 years or less, so right in our wheelhouse, so to speak. And this example, we plucked out a larger number, so these folks did really well.
Yeah.
They've got $1,750,000. So this example, these guys have really done very well. So hopefully this example we show folks will hopefully look very attractive.
Okay, now the goal here, folks, it's great to have money. It's great to have this kind of money, like $1.7 million or so, you said, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not in the right place, that money can go away very fast. If you watch any sports event, maybe a team has a big lead and all of a sudden the lead's gone. We can't afford to lose this lead when we have that kind of money. And what we see many times, you can tell me if this is true or not, but don't we see people with way too much money in the red bucket? There's three buckets for retirement. Red is risk. Can go way up, can go way down. We have the yellow, which is emergency. It can't go really anywhere. It just stays there. It's 100% liquid, so it's there anytime you need it money. Anytime you need it money, right? That's good, yep. The yellow money. And you should have some money in there, at least a couple months' worth of expenses at the minimum. And then we have the green buckets, which is safe return with lifetime income. You never have less than a zero in a year in the green bucket. Now, you could have zeros. You could have zeros forever, by the way. We're going to talk about how that would work. Mm-hmm. But if we have zeros in the green bucket, that means if you were still in the red, you would have lost money. So you're not losing money, but you're not gaining either, but it's better than losing money. So why don't we go up to the board and show people the example there, right up the age, 62, and then put the number up there, and then I'll let you take over and tell folks what happened next with this example.
Absolutely. This is.
And by the way, folks, you can have examples done like this for you and your family at any time. All you have to do is call the number you see on the screen or contact us with the contact information on the screen there. We could do one for you at no cost or obligation. You'll entitle yourself to that golden ticket where you can get your retirement explained to you. Many of you have not had it explained. You see the numbers on the screen. You see the numbers on the statement, but you have no idea what kind of income you can get from these numbers and not worry about outliving your money. The example we're going to show you in a minute here guarantees you never run out of money. For you and your spouse, even if your balance goes to zero, you'll still get the checks. Marty, true or false, what I just said?
This is absolutely true, and this is assuming, folks, we talk about it on our show all the time. We talk about it on our channel. These are folks that are in that financial red zone.
Yep.
The main reason that we want this money moved down here to this protected bucket, and it makes a lot of sense because using that football analogy, that financial red zone, we cannot afford a financial fumble when we are at or close to retirement.
Correct.
We talk about that all the time. And so if you watch a football game, NFL, college, and they get down the 2-yard line, that's not where you run some fancy play or so forth.
The flea flicker.
Yep, you give it to the fullback. He covers up the ball with both his hands or both his arms, and guess what? He does not fumble. That's what we're doing here when we talk about this retirement money. So in this case, we're 62 years old. As we said, they did a really good job of saving for retirement, $1,750,000. Now, in this example, we have some companies out there that have gotten very, very competitive over the last few years. And so what they've done is they get more competitive. That's typically better for our clients. So in this case, we have a company, a very good company, A-rated company out there that's providing our clients a 18% upfront bonus to earn their business. They're dangling a big carrot out there in front of us. So on $1,750,000, we're getting right at $315,000 as an upfront bonus that, to earn the business. So that, in my opinion, is a substantial incentive without a better use of the term. So we are required by the rules, and we absolutely operate by the rules here. As you know, we have to do that. One thing we have to do is we have to show a zero return for the
Forever.
next 15, 20 years.
Forever.
An Armageddon situation.
Put the money in and you pretend it never earns any money. But that's because you have it in the green bucket now. It's not earning any money. If it was in the red bucket, you would have lost money. Keep in mind, zero is your hero in the green bucket. When the markets are going down, you never get a negative return. A zero is worth its weight in gold when everybody else in the red accounts has a negative 30% or negative 40%, and they're wondering if they're ever going to be able to retire. Now you are putting a line in the sand. You're saying, I'm never going to have less than. You add that 1.75 million with the 315,000, you have a starting balance of over $2 million now. And the goal is to protect, preserve, and get lifetime income from this money for you and your spouse, and then leave what's left to your next of kin. So let's say that we had zeros. Every single year is a zero once you start in a green account, which, hey, you picked a great time to get in the green account, because if you weren't in the green account, you would have a negative balance. You would lose money every single year. You're not going to lose money. You're not going to gain. So what would happen in that zero account?
And Coach, that's absolutely a great point. And
Yep.
to kind of to expand on that a little bit, what if you put the money in there the first year that you put the money in? Let's say you needed income right away.
Right.
That's when it really begins to get scary.
Yep.
But in a situation like this, again, we play by the rules here at Capital Financial, a zero rate of return. We decided in this segment we're going to start income at age 65. So
3 years.
You know, they've got a nice nest egg at 62. They're approaching Social Security age, 65. Admittedly, this is not going to be very impressive from $1,750,000, but that's going to generate $121,000. A little over $121,600 as income. I know that that's not impressive, but we're talking about a zero rate of return situation here.
Well,
so using that kind of zero rate of return, we are in a really bad situation if we're talking about a market going down 15, 20 straight years. So the income in year one isn't bad. They're a little over $121,600, but because that market is going down every year, we cannot rely on the 121,600. So the income is actually going to go down because we have no growth.
Right.
We're assuming that zero rate of return. So,
but keep in mind, you're not getting a growth here because you're in the green bucket. If you were in the red bucket still, you'd have a negative return. You would have less money in your account. You'd be losing money. Here, you're not losing money at all. You're not gaining money, but you're not losing. So your income will go down a little bit. What income would they get? We'll look forward to at the next year or two.
So, well, at age 95,
yeah.
You know, what we're doing is we're saying, okay, because it's zero rate of return, the income is going down annually because we're getting no return. The money is not working for us at all. So at age 95, about 10 years from our past life expectancy, we've taken out $1,637,161 as income. Again, not very impressive. And the leave portion there, we're leaving behind $465,867.
All right, well, you at least got back what you started with. But if you were in the red accounts and not in the green accounts, you would have a lot less than this. You might not even have any income at all. You might have lost all your money. So this at least puts a line in the sand saying that you will never lose any more than you've already lost in the red accounts. So, but now, we don't, like you said, we're not negative people, but we'll have to show you the worst case scenario. This is the worst case scenario. Marty, if I had a nickel every time someone came into my office and said my advisor told me I'd be getting this, this, and that, and when it came time, they didn't get any of it. The advisor never showed them the worst case example. We're showing you the worst case example. Chances are that means the market has to be down 30 straight years from age 65 to age 95. There was not one up market. That's what this example is. Now, let's say you have a way to go back 10 years, right? So let's see the real life example here.
Exactly. Now. And Coach, you make a very, very good point here. In this situation, if that money was left in red, we're talking about a zero rate of return. You're also talking about a zero balance.
Yeah, well,
down here
they wouldn't be getting a zero, though, if they were in red. They'd get a negative. They'd probably get a negative 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever the negative is in the market. That's what you get when you're a red account. If you're in a green account, you don't get the negative. You just don't get any positive because there isn't any.
That is a great point.
Right?
So then we're going to come down here. We're going to say, okay, we've got
Wall
this
Street doesn't
money.
want you to see this, by the way. Wall Street does not want you to see the alternatives.
They do not want them to see this, and so they want all the money in the red bucket because they want a little thing called a fee and commissions, and so that's not what we do here.
Assets under management, they call it.
Exactly, and so we're down here in the green bucket. All right, now we're assuming this is real world. So I'm going to start out same scenario here. I'm going to start out at 65. Now, over there in our Armageddon situation, we were at 121,600. Real world, Coach, this is going to look a lot better. This is $176,400. And because we're assuming that the real world market has done well historically, we're actually going to factor in there that our income is going to be able to increase a little bit each year. We're factoring in a cost of living increase in there.
Yep.
So at age 95, right?
30 years later.
30 years later, as income, and this is because of this amount, we're talking about a lot of money here, Coach. We're talking about almost $2 million to start with.
Over $2 million. You're talking about over $2 million to start with.
Over $2 million, and we had the money to grow there 2 or 3 years before we ever got started. So in this case, I've got $176,400 starting out at age 95 in my pocket. $9,894,834. That is in my pocket as income, Coach.
That's what you've taken income-wise for the last 30 years. Now,
just shy of $9 million.
What everyone's probably asking is, where did you come up with these? What kind of return were you getting basing this on, and where did you get this return from?
Yeah, and we're very transparent about that. We are going back, looking at the return over the last 10 years. We tell folks that our reasonable expectation should be in that 4 to 6%, but this is assuming an 8.89% return.
And it's been a pretty good last 10 years. There's been a couple down years, but there's been some good up years. So that's out of 8.89. I like to aim between 4 and 6%. So this is even better. Even 4 to 6% puts you at a really good position. But if you did get the return we've had the last 10 years, you could look forward to something like that.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
Coach,
pretty neat.
Coach, and where this is really nice is here we've got, sorry I made a little mess here, but just shy of $9.9 million in my pocket as income at age 95.
And what happens if you pass away at that time?
And I pass away at age 95.
And your spouse does too at the same time, basically.
Yes, they're killed in a car accident, unfortunately. Their children are going to walk away with $10,526,695.
So total, it's almost $20 million with starting with $1.75 million.
Coach, we have $1.75. Company was nice enough to give us this upfront bonus of $300,000. Real world situation at age 95, I've got just shy of $9.9 million in my pocket as income. Now, we are assuming that we've done really well here for the last 10 years. So we're exceeded expectation, and I'm leaving behind over $10,500,000. In this scenario, because the money has had a really good rate of return, our income has gone up each year. It's given us a little bit of cost of living.
Inflation protection.
We're up here, obviously with zero return, it's much different. But this is a real world situation. If you'd like a situation like this, a spend and leave is what we call it. If you'd like to have this customized and individualized to your situation, this number can be whatever you want it to be. And we'll put a plan like this together, and that when the income starts is up to you. And we'd love to put this together for you.
I'd say even half of this 8.89% would give you really good numbers. 5%. We aim for 4 to 6, but I mean, all we could do is say that you won't get a negative number if the market goes down, and you get to share in the gain when the market goes up. So it makes a whole lot of sense, folks. And the beauty here, Marty, is that the amount you're going to leave your next of kin, your kids and grandkids, it's over $10 million. We can show you how to have a spend and leave on steroids, where you could actually have that $10.5 million you're leaving the kids and grandkids go tax-free. Keep, beat Uncle Sam's hands off the money forever. And there's ways to do that too. If you'd like to have that customized example Marty's talking about here and see it in writing for you and your family, why wouldn't you, by the way? The way to do that's right there on the screen, folks. Look forward to seeing you and your family and helping you and your family out in the future. Marty, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.